There are conversations that shape how we live. Conversations that help us navigate challenges of life. Conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find the way and unleash our potential. Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Global.
Psychologist, relationship coach, the one, the only
Benjamin Zulu.
Benjamin Zulu himself.
We all have expectations in relationships or when we are dating. We want it right, don't we? We all do. Now, what are the signs of a man who will never become the man that you want? That is the topic we are discussing today. Welcome to Benjamin Zulu Global Show. My name is Sylvia Kirimi, and I hope you are here ready to learn and ready to grab points that will help you and myself. Yes, Benjamin Zulu.
Yes, and we are discussing this because a good woman marries both your present and also your potential. We have discouraged women from banking on what a man can turn into. He may never turn into it because potential is just possibility.
Yes.
And possibilities require a lot of work to be materialized, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can possibly go to Mombasa, but you need to travel, isn't it?
Yes.
You may tell me you are trying to go to Kisumu. There's a work between you and Kisumu. It's possible.
Yeah.
But
there's work in between.
That's potential.
Yeah.
Whenever you hear people tell about their dreams, what they want to do one day,
Yeah.
they're telling you New York. Between here and New York, my friend,
Yeah, there's work.
not everybody sees the work through. Remember that, so that you don't think with the time, within 5 years' time, 5 years can still find you here.
Yeah.
Time and metrics, like 1 meter, have one thing in common. They just give you space. They don't tell you. If I tell you to bring me 2 meters tomorrow, come with 2 meters. You ask me 2 meters of?
Of what?
Is it 2 meters of fabric? Is it 2 meters of a string, of a rope? 2 meters of what? Is it a masking tape? Are you looking? What? 5 years of what?
Okay.
Time, the clock, and the measuring tape are the same. Remember that?
Yeah.
They just give you some measure. It's what you place them against. You can place them against emptiness. You can, you know. That is why we discourage women from marrying what a man, his genius, his mental capacity, his talent. Just you see what he can do, and if this voice was channeled the right way, if he only sang to the right audience, if this man focused.
Yeah.
Potential has demands of focus as a pillar, consistency is another pillar, belief is another pillar, risk-taking is another pillar, self-confidence is another pillar, support is another pillar. Fine.
Yeah.
How many pillars to support potential? Therefore, don't fall in love with raw potential.
Yeah.
You're signing up for frustration. You're signing up, well, they sell you land, telling you there's a university that will be built here. You should buy this land. Why are they selling it to you? If there's a university coming. Why don't they take advantage?
Yes.
So people tell you there's a highway being built here. You know.
Yeah.
Those things can be built, but many times you only use them as potential possibility in the future to entice you.
Yes.
So it's raw, it's a bad idea. And brothers particularly have been making this mistake by dating students, young girls under 25 in college, something like that.
Yeah.
She appears like she can become a virtuous wife. She appears.
She appears.
Yes. She's spiritual, calm, beautiful, brilliant mind, a lot of potential, okay?
Yes.
But only
Potential.
Remember that between potential and practicality and the result and the outcome, there are other many things. In fact, ordinary people succeed more than geniuses generally in life. Because geniuses over trust the potential.
Okay.
Ordinary people don't have that kind of potential. They really must work hard.
Yeah.
So they put in the work to develop their C-level grade. C-level.
Yes.
But the A-level talent
They're already there.
thinks the A will bring the results.
Yeah.
The child of God to see, me, I have to work hard, otherwise.
You have to chase
That is the problem.
Yeah.
The moderately talented one tends to have discipline and practicality and investment. The extremely talented kids, child genius, whoever, they believe too much in their genius. They don't put in the work. They don't wake up. They told us a story of Ronaldinho, that great player, that he won the Ballon d'Or, one of the biggest awards, the Player of the Year, the FIFA Player of the Year, Male Player of the Year. And the problem was, they said he could not sustain because he also wanted to party a lot, he wanted a lot of fun, and clubs can't, you need to show up for training.
Yeah.
Some even tried to sign up with that, having a day or two for clubbing, and not showing up for training, and they could not sustain that. Great talent that did not go as fast as it could have gone.
Yeah.
If it had what Cristiano Ronaldo has. Grit, consistency, to show up. What Messi has, talent with determination and discipline. And you must respect those guys who have money and they still leave the money home to go do training.
Yeah.
It's very hard to turn your back on money.
Yeah. Yes.
It's easy to wake up when the money is where you're going. You're going to look for the
money.
But if the money is at home,
wake up to leave the money? No.
Many people can't wake up and have money at home. It must get finished.
One has to be out. Yes. Yes.
This Gabriel Haile Selassie, the Ethiopian runner, who said, athletes must invest their money because sometimes the money runs faster than them. You earn it, but it runs
faster.
So you invest it quickly.
Yes.
It does not run ahead of you. And we are discussing the man and what you see. So the warning is, don't marry a man based on his potential. But you can't marry a man with no potential.
Yeah.
Do you want a man who is already at the end? What are you going to build?
Yes.
Who is telling you, I've already attained what I wanted, I'm just now going to live like this?
Yeah, money is working for me.
You cannot meet a man who has attained some level of job and that's all. They don't want anything more.
Yeah.
Will you marry that?
No.
So now, today we are balancing and telling you, after you see what the person has done on themselves, you check the patterns and the potential. Patterns is the path of life, the decisions I've made. The question Elon Musk said he asks people when he has hiring them, tell me your journey and the problems you've encountered along the way and how you solved them. One composite question that is open-ended.
Yeah.
Pick those highlights of your life that you're proud of. Tell me how you handled them. What setbacks, what obstacles. And he said he always want to know how the person solved problems, stepped forward, volunteered to be in front, was confronted. Those who avoid problems usually have no emotional stories. When you have wrestled a problem to a conclusion, it's a highlight for you. Whenever you get a chance, you tell it.
Yeah.
So he wants to see the highlights. Doers have a lot of highlights. The other people don't have highlights. So after you see the patterns of a man and what he has done and you're impressed by how far he has come. Maybe he's coming from inheritance, but he has built from the inheritance and the empire of the family. He has brought a change, made it better.
Yeah.
I can't wait where we are bringing our children to a $1 billion family estate. And we task them with multiplying it tenfold. And the stories now change from poverty. You know, these struggle stories are too many.
Yeah.
The Zulu type is all over. Can we now get another type?
Yes.
I mean, Africa, let's develop different stories, okay?
Yeah.
Let's know our children to tell different
stories.
My parents gave us something close to $100 million. It was really a struggling business. It was not doing that well. They only had 10 trucks, only one manufacturing company. They could not export. It was stuck. My goal was to make it export, to spread to the region, open 3 branches. I want you to now have those stories. You know?
Yes.
But you don't know, just driving a normal Toyota. I mean, just imagine a normal Toyota.
I hope we get there soon.
Then you pity them. What? No way.
Toyota?
You said what?
No more Toyota.
I'm sorry. That must be hard. Please take some water. So you comfort them. You know, if people talk like that now, you cast them. You think they're proud. You're arrogant. Point of view of poverty is very bad. You make people discussing achievement, they're arrogant.
Yeah.
The point of view of poverty is not good. You know? So we are saying the man who you're coming to work with should have shown you patterns. Maybe they were given inheritance by their parents. How have they multiplied it?
Yeah.
I hope every single person or a person trying to find a man has a silent wish that they don't have to begin with beginners.
Yeah.
Pioneering is hard. Why do people glamorize it?
It is.
Do you know you fight 3 battles? You think we are just trying to build wealth for the first time. You're also trying to deal with a family who does not believe that you think you can do better than them.
Yeah.
Now, village witches. Count. I want you to count the enemies.
Yes.
When you're a pioneer. The auntie who already set a cap on your whole family.
Yes.
And they pronounced. And the whole of that family has nobody ever raised their head. No, you are raising their head and there's a family struggle. And the family enemy who had already vowed on their life. Nobody will ever come up because their sister did those kind of things. Then you're trying to set up a house in a village or drive a car somewhere where nobody has seen light. Then they see lights at night. Is that I saw lights here last night. Who was that? Yes. Oh, that's Sylvia girl. She can drive, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, then they come collect the soil from where your car
was parked.
My friend parked in the local market to do some shopping and the car stopped running. It could not ignite. And nothing wrong, it just came from Nairobi. And then the guy who ran the shop told him, sorry, we should have warned you. Where you stopped is where the witches perform their things. So I see them in the CCTV. They can't form around there and start chanting, wearing funny robes. So that spot, push the car little. And when they pushed it, it started. Now, village witches who already have an oversight.
Yeah.
To make sure nobody lifts their head.
Yes.
So pioneering is not funny. I don't know why people glamorize it. You may die. You may also psychological blockades.
Yeah.
The belief that if a woman gets money, she does marriageable. If a woman has money, man has money, that kind of money must be Illuminati. Then you are looked at funny, you are judged. People see you, either they want to take away from you or they just hate you for it. Pioneering is not fun.
It's difficult.
It's not fun. I don't want my children to deal with this.
Yes.
I want them to discuss ordinary Toyota and pity the parents. And really feel sorry and take a moment of silence.
Yeah.
The poor senior, he just dropped it all his life. How? Mom, how did you used to manage this type of cars? And it's not bragging. That's their life.
Very basic.
Too basic. I mean, no safety at all.
Yes.
Imagine even the glasses were not bulletproof. How did you drive around like that?
How did you manage?
So, that is a level where my third generation, fourth generation, to be and it's not bragging. There's a life like that out there. It's just poverty. Your poverty, vantage point of poverty is shameful. Makes you think achievement is arrogance.
Yeah. You are boasting.
That's one reason rich people are generally quiet when they're in the masses. Anything they say will be misinterpreted.
Yeah. That's true.
Anything appears arrogant. You know, they generally realize they're not in their space and they leave. They don't argue. Yeah. You know, they look at the standards, don't bother. You know, they don't like that. They're used to just avoiding. So now that you're not marrying potential, but you're also marrying a person who has a track record of achievement, I want to warn you in the following terms: not to marry a man who struggled but settled.
A man who struggled
But settled.
but settled.
He has journeyed, but he has arrived.
Yeah.
Some people have arrived the comfort level they wanted and they're not striving anymore henceforth. Okay?
Yeah.
You marry them as a woman because he's ahead of you a little. He has a car you don't, he has a job you don't, he's 5 years or 10 years older than you. He's ahead, but he has arrived. That's very hard to read when you are below people. When people are ahead of you, you don't read that they have stopped.
Yes.
They still have everything better than you, right?
Yes.
They still know around. They have more experience.
Yeah.
They still have more money. The first sign is that when he's at war with masculinity. When a man is at war with masculinity, let's redefine being a man. The English meaning for being a man, to man, is to manage. To man a facility.
Is to manage a facility.
Remember that.
Yeah.
To husband is active. Animal husbandry means taking care of animals.
Yes.
It's not a status. It's a role to be played. You don't sit on a role. You play it.
Yes.
It's a player position. Number 9. Husband number 9.
Yeah.
Play, score. When a man is at war with masculinity, the first thing you will notice is that he disagrees with the playing roles.
Okay.
And he just wants to occupy the privilege, the position.
Of being a husband.
Yes. So he'll start arguing, can you find love without money? Yeah, you can find love without money if you're talking about self-love.
Yeah.
The only love you can find without money is what?
Self-love.
Those who ask, so if you don't date poor people, who will the poor people date? Love is sold at a price. Go and ask Mercedes. If they don't lower the price, which Mercedes will the poor people drive? How will the Mercedes tell you? It's not meant for everyone.
Yeah. Literally, yes.
Love is Mercedes. It's not meant for everyone. It's for those who can afford it.
Yeah.
Mercedes did a magic you should try to do. It's driven by a common villager who takes themselves seriously. You must take yourself seriously to drive.
A Mercedes.
Okay?
Had that.
And it's also driven by presidents. That's the only car that traverses across society. There's no other car that does that. Toyota tries a lot, but because of the mass market and the hustler culture, they don't make cars for hustlers.
Yeah.
They had to make Lexus to distinguish themselves a little bit.
Yes.
Mercedes maintains the same logo, but it is in presidential motorcade, and that accountant in your plot who takes himself.
Yes, seriously.
Remember that.
You better start being serious.
The bargaining point of Mercedes is not small consumption.
Yes.
The bargaining point of Mercedes is not cheap cost. That's not the bargaining point.
Yes.
If you want that, please check Nissan. Toyota, you can check elsewhere.
Yes.
So romance is not for everyone. It's for people take themselves.
Seriously.
Yes. You must put yourself somewhere
Yeah.
to knock at DTW and say, entry level of Mercedes is very funny. It's the C1, it is C200. Have you seen how they're pimped it? The entry level, that's the entry level car.
Yes.
My friend.
It's already big.
And it even outshines
Yeah.
many other cars. And it's the most basic.
Most basic.
Mercedes is the entry level.
Yeah.
Romance at entry level needs money. Why? For a woman to be romantic, she must be secured, protected financially. Not that she's not to overthink, to think too far about. I don't know why people think getting a child is a person just biological. Getting a child is so financial.
Sure.
The hospitals will not write off the bills because you're in love.
Sure.
the maternity charges,
Yes.
the clinics. My friend, and children consume, why do children consume consumables so fast? Those diaper things, the little things of children. A very tiny cloth, 3,000, and mine is only 1,000. Which fabric is bigger? Between this tiny fabric and sometimes it's very unfair, honestly. I think they should really consider.
They should consider the size.
A very tiny shoe.
Yes.
Why is it living like that? How much material weight? You know, those things you can't be given for free just because you're in love.
True.
It's a very, it's a financial undertaking. Some of us were raised on abandonment and scarcity, and we think that's normal. That's normal. That's why we are scarred and directionless. We are so many, and we can't even raise money.
Yeah.
We can't bear our own weight because we are not developed. We are not equipped. Look at the photos of the first president of this country holding the fourth president in his hand.
Yes.
That you know that children are groomed into these things. And
Yes.
when a man is at war with being a male, leading, providing, that's one sign his potential has stopped. He is no longer committed to his potential. Now, this may look outrageous because it's only philosophical, right?
Yeah.
It will not be immediately consequential. This is the kind of man you can marry. But his notions are, there's no point attaching love to money. Love is not about money.
Yeah.
True, there's a point there. But we also know at the bare minimum, for love to work, somebody must be bringing the bacon. The man must shelter the woman enough so she can be lovely.
Yeah.
If the woman must also hunt and hustle, she will remain masculine, not receptive, overthinking, tight, uptight. You know, out there you must be uptight. Out here it's war. You're being salty for who? Out here you elbow.
Yes.
If it's raining and people are pushing into the vehicle, you as the woman, you're being soft for the conductor to come for you. There are no vehicles.
Give you an umbrella.
The rains are coming. And people are elbowing.
You must fight.
The woman must fight.
Yeah.
When she's by herself in the world, there's no place for being soft. She must move and get on time. Employers don't care. They just want results. That's why the woman carries 2 pairs of shoes. One for inside the office, the other for hustling on the way to the office. The roads are not always good for catwalking.
Yes.
You really must, you're delayed on the traffic for 1 hour. And you must be creative. She must jump on a border and connect. That's not feminine.
It isn't.
And the border is doing their devil maneuvers between vehicles and she must not femininity. We're going to, she's really praying her prayer. Get safe. Being a woman and having to fend for yourself automatically makes you to wear the warrior's armor and fight. Fight. To get money anywhere is competitive. To show up in the court, you can't be soft because these are men. Let me just go slow because they're men. No. You square with them. You win your matters. You present. So that fighter woman cannot again be so soft, lovely. She must know there's a soft safety. That's when she can now relax and let somebody lead the way. That does not mean married cannot work. A woman should not go to work. It means even when she works, she's not working for survival, she's working to support.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yes.
Survival has a lot of pressure. Support does not have pressure. You get the difference?
Yes.
When you either work or die, you're
Survival.
working with that very different energy.
Yeah.
You know. But if you're just working to back up, that's a very different.
It is.
That's a girl who can touch up her makeup and there and cool down. And she's checking her family. She's checking over here. She's managing her home. There's a man who takes the huge weight off her shoulder.
Yes.
And then she can worry about the aesthetic, the comfort, the happiness, the joy, the love. Love, as it is structured, is a high bill. It's a premium product.
Yeah.
So those who ask, can you find love without money, don't understand life. So please don't deal with fools generally. All right?
Yeah.
Love should not be all about money.
Yes.
But all life requires
money. It does.
My friend. Money answers everything. The Bible says that. Money answers all things. The second thing, so the first thing is if he's at war with his masculinity, he will never evolve into the man you hope for.
Okay.
The second thing is when he cannot take input without feeling challenged. When he cannot take correction without feeling offended. When he cannot take your opinions without feeling competitive. When he cannot take your suggestions without feeling like you're competing with him. When he's too egotistical than cooperative. You need a man who has made peace with his status in life.
Yeah.
That he knows himself and he can still let you chime in, throw in, bring in. He can incorporate you into a team. Many men marry when you're a genius that they don't allow you to plug into the genius into what you're building. You have no ideas, no input. And you feel left out, you feel suffocated.
Yeah.
You feel held back. That is a challenge with a lot of marriages. You find a person who could have done a lot if only they were allowed to contribute, to think. Two minds thinking together form a mastermind, according to Napoleon Hill. Mastermind is better than the two minds. You throw an idea, I build on it. You throw an idea, we think about together, we balance it. We add, we wrinkle, we consider. By just tinkling ideas to people, they keep producing better outcome.
Yes.
Better outcome because there are two of them.
Yes.
They can handle the same business better, even when it's only one who's on site. The other one is out there, looking at from outside. Becomes like a coach and player.
Yeah.
When the other one goes to their game, they become the player and the coach. Coach, player, player, coach.
Yeah.
That's very different than if you are alone.
Yes.
That's one reason when people marry, they thrive. When people marry, right, you used to notice that they would become richer faster. Mastermind. Mastermind. But other people don't thrive. One guy said he was dragged by these hawkers who come close to you pretending to be selling. They're trying to drag him to steal from him. But he managed to get away on time.
Yeah.
But he was feeling dizzier and dizzier. And he was carrying his wife and children. And he was endangering them. And it's getting worse. And he's trying to get away from. And he ended up hitting the car on something. And people asking, why can't you give your wife to drive? She doesn't know how to drive. Why would you stay with a woman who cannot help you in situations? I know some women avoid.
Yes.
Some women don't want to drive. But you should really evolve her even mentally.
Yeah.
To know that situations do come. That the car is here and you are here.
Yeah.
And between you driving that car, you're going to save a situation. You're going to get a child to hospital. You're going to get a situation out of hand. There will come a time, we are two cars and we need to get away.
Yeah.
Just to tell you that sometimes the man needs that perspective, that understanding that he's strong, he's capable, but he needs a woman who can back him up. You as a woman, you may not understand that correction, thinking together is a big issue. You may think, oh, I will teach him, oh, he will evolve into it, oh, he will understand.
Yeah.
No. People generally don't change how their ego. If they're fearful and insecure, they don't believe in themselves. Anytime you try to suggest a different direction, they feel challenged. It's like you're shooting down the ideas, they start fighting back. They do things just to prove a point. You've seen men who go all out to just oppose their wives.
Yeah.
To do the opposite.
Yes.
To shame, to put down. That kind of battle makes your home divided.
Yeah.
And you will never progress.
True.
You lose opportunities because you are trying to fight. But when you find a man who is secure enough to hear you, incorporate your ideas, involve you, and also chime in, throw in ideas to you, that is a team player.
Yes.
His potential, the potential of the home, has a future because we can collaborate together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, it's interesting. You know, the other day, I boarded a matatu, and then there's this couple. The couple was there, and the man was very arrogant, and the man was insulting the driver. I think they disagreed over some charges or something, and so the man kept talking and talking and talking, and everybody was very disappointed. So finally, they were thrown out of the vehicle. Like, you guys go get another matatu. So what was so disappointing to many people is that this woman was there all okay with that. And to be honest, the man was wrong, because I think he paid using his phone and then the phone went off. So he was told to just find a way of showing the message or something. Now we wondered, why is this woman, very beautiful, a woman who looks just fine, okay, with this man who cannot even respect people, and he's so loud and all that. And so when they were told to get out, the woman was just there laughing, you know, smiling and all. And honestly, I was totally disappointed. And I had those questions of, why would such a woman be with this man who doesn't look as if he's grown or growing? Does it mean there's a point, there's a man who has not evolved, let me say, or a man who doesn't know himself, or who doesn't know where he is in life anyway? To be with that man, honestly, is insulting yourself as a lady. Now, is there an age that a man should be with a woman or get married such that you'll not have doubts of this man? Probably it's the age, or he's growing, he's evolving, at some point he will change. Do we have that age where we know that this man, he's at a level that he cannot change, because anyway, even the age, he's a mature man?
Yeah, maturity comes from two sources. There's biological, chronological growth, which you said, avoid men in mid-20s. Many of them are still boys.
Yeah.
But from late 20s and upwards, many of them from 28 when they've been mentored, I believe a closely mentored son will be mature by 25. By the time the psychological maturity arrives, he will also get personal leadership, responsibility, maturity. When he has been mentored for 10 years. Remember the condition?
Yeah.
Takes a lot of growth for a man to become for a boy to become a man. So the biological clock is there.
Yes.
But even after the clock, without intentional, when that somebody is egotistical like that case, defensive, unreasonable, they'll never mature. They will age like that. Like, the Bible says Nabal was a fool, and like his name is, so is he.
Yeah.
So fools grow old because they don't want to learn. That woman was also too silenced, because usually she's treated like that by the same man. She could have negotiated. She could have taken over the case.
Yes.
And said, do you have a place you can charge this phone a little bit?
Exactly.
You know, anybody the power bank. Can I just wake it up? You know, can I put this SIM card in my phone?
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Let me use this to call Safaricom for you to hear whether the payment has transferred.
Yes, actually.
If the woman was trying to mediate, she would have found a way.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you, that second point you said about, if a man is being challenged and if he finds it offensive, instead of just finding a situation and prove whatever needs to be proved.
Yes.
And if you totally don't like the whole transactions, find a way to reverse your payment or whatever, and leave the vehicle, or whatever, you know.
Yes.
Just to say, it's not the age, it's the behavior. But don't play with boys. Make sure that anytime you're trying to date, you're dating
a
men
man
from 28 and above. That way,
Yeah.
that is the ideal for Africa when boys have raised themselves. But if they have raised by a father closely, even the young men who have mentored, who follow very closely, I see a lot of potential when they're just mid-20s, a lot of maturity and stability because of how much they've been learning over the past 5 or so years like that. Check the age, but also check the mindset. Yes.
The psychology again.
Yes.
Wow. Yes. I love that point. Thank you so much for always enlightening us. I hope our viewers have also learned something today. It was really interesting. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation. To get Benjamin Zulu's books, go to www.benjaminzuluglobal.com. See you next time.
There are conversations that shape how we live. Conversations that help us navigate challenges of life. Conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find the way and unleash our potential. Welcome